So, welcome back to another version of ARCA's Elevated Views. Today I'm pleased to sit down again with Gary Playsted, the Regional Roofing Business Development Manager with Flynn Canada in Calgary. Today, Gary, we're talking about mentorship in the trades and how the whole trade system is set up and how it's really geared to advance those who want to advance. What we always say, it's a respectable and lucrative trade that you can get into, definitely with roofing, to provide you with a great quality of life and a great standard of living. Maybe give us a little history as to, I know you've been in construction a while and your family's been in construction. Give us a little bit of background on that.
Well, thank you, Kevin, and thank you for having me back. I am a Red Seal journeyman, not in roofing. I was sheet metal back when I took the apprenticeship. There actually wasn't a roofing program. It came in about a dozen years later. I started out of high school within my family business, which was HVAC and roofing. I had some roofing experience. When it comes to mentorship, every crew that you work on is like a sports team. There's a hierarchy in the grouping, everything from your goalie to your top center to your fellas that have a different role. And everyone is important in having success. And where you start isn't where you finish, especially when you're an apprentice. Because as an apprentice, you're learning your skill set, you're learning where to put it together, very much like a rookie coming into whatever sport that they do. Along the way, you have teammates who help you learn at a more accelerated pace by showing you and telling you the way, helping you hone your skills. And it is very much like a team. So I came through my apprenticeship, got my Red Seal in '81. A lot of good fellas really helped me. Some of my journeymen that I worked for were Brian Baker and Andy Leonard, who are Victoria guys. And I still remember them, how they were empathetic and patient, kicked my ass, but were empathetic and patient and helped me become a good tradesman. And if you're an apprentice, your journeyman is really important. Your foreman, your lead hand. If you try, they're going to really, really help you get better because it makes their life easier. So as you go through your trade, you'll have different people show you different things and you'll get better. It makes the team better. Back to the sports team. Cohesive teams get better results. High-performing teams must work as a group. You have to have different jobs covered at different times by different guys. So sometimes you won't get the best job, but if you do it to your best, it's going to help you get through. They're going to respect you. They're going to teach you. It's important to remember who's helped you on the way up, who put their hand down to pull you up, because there's going to come a time in your career, as it is right now in mine, that I can put my hand down and pull someone else up and help them with a little bit of insight and wisdom and guidance. It absolutely helped my career to have a lot of different guys. I left my family business in the mid-'80s, went off and did some other things, came back into the trade in the late '80s. I'm a more robust fellow. I found that joist spaces and crawl spaces weren't really a fit for me, so I did a lot of cladding type work. And again, met some great people that helped me learn that side of the business a little bit more. A fellow that I had gone through the apprenticeship with, Dave Flint in Victoria. He's still with Flynn in Victoria. We got together in late '88, started a business, and we were a little bit of HVAC, but a lot of cladding, and eventually put together a roofing department. We were together for about a dozen years before we were acquired by Flynn. I was with Flynn in Victoria as superintendent for about 3 years and had an opportunity to move from Victoria to Calgary as the roofing division manager for Flynn in 2005. And I've had a number of hats here with Flynn, from roofing manager, I was branch manager, and now I have a regional position, which is both North and South Alberta, and I help a little bit in the interior of BC, and we cover the corner of BC, the south east corner of BC, out of the Calgary market.
So it's interesting listening to your history. I think trades are unique in a way that they're built on that mentorship role, that you're always going to be learning and you always have those people to learn from, and it's not just a single person and not just a single project. So you get a wide variety of experiences as you build yourself up. Like, I like the way that you said that. So going through your first year, second year, third year, you're always adding more tools to your toolbox, more skills on how to do things. That mentorship is crucial because, like you say, it brings those people up, and in turn you'll feed it with those people that are newer than you coming up along the way. What would you say the most important quality of mentorship was when you were coming up? Was it teaching you the new skills, or just teaching you how to approach things, or how fast to go, what directions to go? Like, what kind of things mapped your path?
A couple of things. First and foremost, working with a few different foremen, it gives you different views of how many different ways that things can be done. As you go through it, if you're thinking, well, I like how he does this, I don't like how he does that, the one common thread with all good leaders, whether it's your lead hand, your foreman, your journeyman, is that they have empathy and understand that you're in a different spot than they are, and that it does make their life better if you get better. If you have two fellas on the site and you're the leader and the other fella's not very good, it makes your life harder. You still have to produce like two men. But if you look at that process as, if I give him a fish, we'll get through today. If I teach him to fish, our boat will be full. I think it's very important that you find somebody who's going to teach you how to fish. That's one thing that's so important in mentorship, is that it might take a little bit longer for a couple of weeks to teach an apprentice a detail or skill. But at the end of it, when it's in the busy season, he now can do that detail without you having to go and be over his shoulder, and allows you to do different things. Your group gets more productive. Your job gets easier as a leader. One of my first journeymen was very good at saying, ask me the why. I know you're thinking something, ask me the why. It is so much easier for people to grasp new ideas if you tell them the why. And that's important, I believe.
Interesting how you talk a lot about mentorship in the trades, but something I've also seen in a lot of companies is mentorship in your entire operations. So you may have estimators, you may have project managers that may have come through the trade route and they're working that way, but you also have technologists or other people that are along the same learning path as the tradesmen, and I think that mentorship adds a lot to what they can provide as well too.
Absolutely. The idea of a football team. Your place kicker could be the most important guy on your team. You may have an offense that's decent, but if every time you get over half, he can put 3 points up and he seldom misses, that's super important. The left guard or left tackle is super important because, steal the phrase from the movie, that's the blind side of the quarterback. Every piece is important. And if you don't value each member of the team, it's going to be very hard to have success. If you are truly in a team environment about mentorship, then you're going to help every member of your team be valued, have a growth opportunity, and be fulfilled in their job. And that's going to be a pretty great place to work.
Have you seen the mentorship attitudes change over your tenure? Like from what the mentorship was, say, in the mid-'80s to what it is now?
The mid-'80s were a different time, there was a little more immediate, boisterous feedback. But I found that around the change of the millennium, there was a little bit of a shift where I can't yell at them, I'm not going to talk to them. That, I think, set us back a little bit. And we are finding that there are some people now that struggle with feedback. It's important that you find a common ground to be able to give that feedback in such a way the person you're talking to knows that it's not an attack, it's a route to be better. I do think that there's more energy spent trying to teach the skills, and I'm extremely happy to be part of a group within the ARCA to help the mentorship and the leadership of our contractors moving forward to help them be better leaders. It is a situation where you live and you learn, and again, back to the why, ask the why. Why is he reluctant to make that change? If you can make that connection, then you can have your organization hit all those best practices.
And I think it's understanding as well, too, that not every person accepts the feedback, accepts the criticism the same. A 35-year-old is going to receive it quite differently than a 22-year-old, just because of where they are in their career path, in their life, and even in their kind of generations. We can't talk to everybody, like you say, in the loud, boisterous ways. You put that very eloquently and politely. Yeah, there used to be a lot of yelling, a lot of swearing, a lot of demeaning going on the sites to get people to perform better, and that just won't work anymore.
I think that information is great, but it took the cloak away from the veiled threats of you'll never work in this town again. There is lots of opportunity, and especially if you're somebody that works well in a team. There's an interesting study that shows the Navy SEALs, who are one of the highest performing groups in the world, they will take somebody who's a good teammate over somebody who's a higher performer but a poor teammate. We've all had high-performing members of our group that are, the new catchphrase is toxic. And it does, it poisons the group. It makes them less happy to be there. Happy people are productive. Happy people take the extra step. If you can find a way to help people enjoy their day, make it a good place to be, not, oh, geez, here comes old Gary and you better stay away from him. And I think that it's important to make sure that people want to come to work. It's a tough world out there, and if it doesn't feel safe, then that's on you as a leader to fix that.
The whole work-life balance, that argument's almost going, because they're so intertwined now, to have a good life balance. Yes, you go to work and sometimes things intertwine between the two, but you have to look at a good balance between both of them. So,
absolutely, and I think that the prevalence of suicide today is so high. You have to be able to be safe. You have to know that you're doing some good. That if you're underappreciated, that's not a good, healthy place to be. I think that if you can find somewhere that you're appreciated, that is going to help you be better, we all feel good when we do a good job. So let's help people do a good job. That's what we want as leaders within our organizations, is we want our group to come in and do a good job. Nobody gets up in the morning and goes, man, I can't wait to get in there and just put in a crap performance. Everybody wants to get up and do a good job. And when they do, let's let them know, hey, that was really good.
yeah, like celebrate the successes.
We catch people doing things right. Mentorship is not about just correcting the wrong. It's also saying, hey, you know what? We just learned to do that detail 3 weeks ago on site, and that looks great. Man, how far you've come. Or, gee, you know, we didn't win that bid, but we were right there. That's a good estimate. Great mentors, they don't create good workers. they create guys that are going to bypass them and be great leaders.
And I think that fear was always there, that you always wanted to be the best on the team. You don't want people to surpass you, but I think that's short-sighted.
It's very
Because
short-sighted.
You want those people to excel beyond what you can provide them, because that's the kind of person that you want to work with. That's how you want your team to be made. If you have a team full of those type of people, there's going to be no stopping where you can go.
Absolutely. You want to be the smartest guy in the room? Be the dumbest guy in your team.
It's a good one. Well, Gary, this has been fantastic, sitting down talking about mentorship. I really look forward to, I know in the ARCA, we're going to be running a leadership mentorship program with a lot of our foremen and superintendents over the next several months this winter. So I look forward to talking to you more and hearing what you have to say during those sessions as well.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm very excited to see the next generation and the next group do all the good things. We have so many really good young people in our industry. It's going to be exciting to see how far they get and all the great things they do. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to another episode of ARCA's Elevated Views. We hope you have enjoyed the program. For additional information on ARCA, our contractors, or our program, please go to arcaonline.ca. Or you could follow us on Instagram at Roofing Careers or on LinkedIn at ARCA-Alberta Roofing Contractors Association. Thanks and have a great day.